Hari Om Tas. Yam Shaiva Samupasate Shivaidi Brahmeti Vedandino Bahuddha Buddha Iti Pramana Padavaha Kartedi Nayyayiga Arhan Nityatha Jaina Shasanarata Karmeti Mimamsaka Soyamvo Soyamvo Vidadhatu Vanchita Phalam Trailokyanaatho Harihi Soyamvo Vidadhatu Vanchita Phalam Trailokyanaatho Harihi Madhya Hridaya Kashe Sadanandamayo Guru Udetu Satatam Samyak Ajnana Timiraruna Madhya Hridaya Kashe Sadanandamayo Guru Udetu Satatam Samyak Ajnana Timiraruna Harihi Om Tas. Harihi Om Tas. Now we shall have chorus recitation of the most auspicious and benedictory Omkara, a combination of 3 syllables A, U and If we analyze this syllable properly, you will find it represents the entire gamut of knowledge. The human brain and the human vocal system have been able to evolve and express. There are some salutary effects on the biological body, particularly the heart. Similarly, you will find there are some effects produced by some secretions, anti-cancerous, anti-aging and anti-stress. So far as we are concerned, we have evolved and we have been using this Omkara for its spiritual, metaphysical effects and sublime influences. It always gives mind's strength, purity and sublimity. It sharpens the human intelligence and makes it able to perceive and go into matters to any extent in a very subtle and philosophical manner. So I would like all of you to join me in reciting this Omkara. For that, interlock your fingers and put them on your lap. Close your eyes and sit comfortably erect. Don't strain yourself. And then open the mouth and the heart alike. Join me. Every time I have to exhort and re-exhort the people. We have come here to imbibe spiritual, philosophical, sublime influences. The purpose of chanting this Omkara in chorus is to generate a collective voice, a spiritual voice, which should not merely permeate our subcontinent, but also go beyond, generating its influences for the benefit of bestowing peace and welfare for the whole globe. The man alone is able to have this kind of a creative thought. Animals cannot do it. No non-human creature will be able to think like this. Our Sankalpa Shakti, the power of creative thought, is enormous. Sky is the limit. So it is in such a context that I ask you to chant this Omkara. What is after all this? Put your voice, and by that you are doing something universally beneficial. This is the greatest social contribution that you can think of making. All your ancestors will be very, very pleased, and the succeeding generations will look at you with a lot of gratefulness and fondness. This is a great opportunity. Chant along with me with full throat, full mind. Not sufficient, we shall have the last recitation. Very good. We have a proverb in Kerala, in our language. If there is a necessity, the jack tree will bear fruit even in the root. And I have seen it. In the root also it bears fruit. This is what I have to tell you. If you put your will and wish, anything in this world can be accomplished. See, we are going to discuss Bhagavad Gita as an administrative treatise. It has always been so, but nobody speaks about it or thinks about it. Everybody considers Bhagavad Gita to be a religious gospel. Now, by calling it a religious gospel, Bhagavad Gita's orbit becomes very, very limited. How many people are there who speak Sanskrit and who have epics like what we have, historic records like the ones we have? Our country is very great. I always say the human society becomes great when it is able to produce, evolve, everlasting literature. A literature that will never be outlived by time or changes taking place in the human civilization. We have memorials of different kinds. All of them are generally made of earth's substances. How long can they last? Maybe a few centuries? But human society has been living for a number of millennia. What is that memorial or what is that relic which you can trace to centuries, not centuries, but countless millennia back? You will have to clearly admit that it is only literature which the society is able to produce. In literature we have two kinds, contemporary literature and lasting literature. Contemporary literature will be trying to suit to the taste of the people of the time. Just like fashions, the same fashion nobody likes, so they go on changing and changing and changing. In the same manner, contemporariness calls for various kinds of changes. In the case of lasting literature, nothing in that can be changed. For our life, individual, familial, domestic life, societal, national and global life, we require some values and disciplines. These values and disciplines will not and cannot change as long as the human mind of emotions and human intelligence of rationality continue to prevail. Whatever you may say about civilization, changes, etc., all these civilizations have not been able to add a sixth sensory organ to the body. Nor do we have anything called mind plus or intelligence plus. So the structure of the human personality, physiologically, biologically, psycho-intellectually, the personality remains the same. There is no difference. If the personality does not undergo any change whatsoever, then I will have to say that the values, disciplines, watchwords and ideals which are relevant to the human mind and intelligence cannot change at all. There also there is a lasting value, a lasting discipline. Any literature which is able to touch and incorporate these items, that literature becomes relevant forever. In other words, values and disciplines which are relating to the human mind and also intelligence will never change whatsoever as long as the mind and intelligence survive with their respective quality and characteristics. So this is a very, very great part which many of the people, including historians and the others, are not able to think. I have been propounding this theory or propounding this fundamental for the past 60 years. I love India as a motherland, but I love her more for the eternal culture and values which people of this land were able to evolve from times immemorial. Swamiji, are you speaking it just offhand? Can you substantiate it? Yes. Whatever I have been speaking has been clearly substantiated by me. Up to now, whatever I have said, nobody has been able to refute. Actually, this Swamiji excels in presenting propositions which cannot be refuted at all, because these propositions are relating to the mind and relating to the intelligence. I don't speak so much about God who is invisible and at infinite distance. I do speak and I can explain it also well. Our Shastras also are very great in exposing the nature of God, potential of God, characteristics of God. And they never say God is an external entity. God is only a synonym for what you call I, one's own self. If God exists, He can only exist as a synonym signifying one's own self. The self in us can never be doubted. Every one of you says, I am, I was, and I shall be. What is this I? Our body was very young. It was in the mother's womb. Thereafter it came out. Then it started growing. So biologically and even psychologically, we are an embodiment of wonderful changes. In spite of the changes, the I we started saying right from the young age continues to be unchanged till the last breath. What is this I signifying? Search the whole world and universe of matter and energy. You will not be able to find anything so permanent as the I. Our dharma, our disciplines, the power of sustenance that we have been able to evolve, abide by, pursue, and also perfect, is always based upon this I factor. What does it denote? Where does it abide? What are the characteristics it has? Is it something transitory or is it something lasting? This kind of an inquiry was at the back of our dharma. That is why it is called Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana means eternal. The one who practices our dharma becomes eternal, and it is a dharma grounded on the eternal factor or constituent of the whole creation. So it is Sanatana Dharma. I have a great regard for our people who were able to evolve this. I believe that this dharma was evolved in the Gangetic plain by the people who lived there right from the immemorial times. When they evolved this dharma, in the English language, there was no word like religion at all. English started to be used perhaps between 6th and 7th century BC. And the word religion appeared first perhaps in 1700 AD. And it meant a system of faith, that's all. Now where is our dharma? And where are these words, religion? Even the word religion is not being understood properly by the English people. The word religion is formed from re and logo. It is going back to the source is the meaning of the word religion. Nobody knows about it. We generally consider religion to be a system of morality based upon the concept of God. This is what we understand. So our religion, our dharma is not a religion at all. A few years back, our Supreme Court has come out with a decision Recently it was referred to by the Supreme Court judges themselves. We are not proposing to revisit the judgment Supreme Court had pronounced a few years back. What is that? Hinduism is not a religion, it is a way of life. There is a lot of difference. Lot of difference. Our dharma is such that it covers the entire orbit of human life. There is nothing in human life which is not covered by our dharma. Our dharma is with reference to our speech, thoughts, deeds, at the individual level, family level, societal level, and also at the national and global level. There is nothing that is precluded so far as our dharma is concerned. Normally we say, whenever we use the word religion, it is opposed to secularism, secular. I am thinking of approaching the Supreme Court with an intervention petition on the basic fact that under a secular constitution, the idea of a religious minority cannot survive or exist. Once we say that we are secular, nothing in the way of religion should be presented either for a right or for a denial. We should look at all people as citizens of our land, and everyone is equal to the rest of the people, and there can be no discrimination on the ground of either birth or religion. We are citizens of the country. We are governed by the civil and criminal laws of the country. We don't have a religion which can say we will handle the criminal offences of the people. Any religion whatsoever, if one person beats another man or kills another man, do they have anything to enforce here? It is only the Indian Penal Code and Criminal Procedure Code, nothing else. We are under civil laws and also criminal laws. If criminal laws are acceptable, civil laws also should be equally acceptable. Otherwise our constitution is an affront, a fraud on our constitution, which we call secular. So why I am saying this is that Bhagavad Gita is considered as a religious gospel. I have been speaking about it as an administrative treatise. It was delivered in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, about 175 kilometers away from our capital, New Delhi, 5,154 years back. This is historically proven. 5,154 years back. Bhagavad Gita is taken from Mahabharata. We have 2 epics and maybe 36 Puranas, mythological texts. The mythological text I conveniently explain as it is an ology of myths. Mythology, very good name. Whereas the word epic used in English refers to only 2 texts in our country. One is Ramayana, written by Valmiki during Treta Yuga. Another is Mahabharata, penned by Vyasa 5,154 years ago. Both in Ramayana and Mahabharata you will find they are discussing the acts, the activities, the interactions, the character, the behavior and the interactions of the people. Where is the genesis of all these and what is the motivation? How is it that a man does bad while another does good? This is the enquiry presented there. And they are illustrating whatever they have said with reference to events that took place. Generally, history is written perhaps after several centuries of the events. But both Ramayana and Mahabharata, are you coming with me? Both Ramayana and Mahabharata are concurrent history written by the authors. When Sri Rama was alive as a prince and also as a king, Valmiki Maharshi was also in his hermitage, living parallelly. He began Ramayana as a biography. But as he started writing, Rama got married When he started writing, he was young. He got married. Sita became pregnant. And he decided to abandon the pregnant wife. But he wanted to have a safeguard. So he told Lakshmana to abandon her very near, close to Valmiki Maharshi's hermitage. If a king abandons the queen, who in this world will protect her? No citizen will take charge of it. Anybody who is greater than the king is only a saint, an ascetic person. The Maharshis can overrule kings and all people in this world, not by virtue of a sensory right or a physical might, on the ground of their asceticism, on the ground of their austere life. On the basis of the knowledge and propriety they are able to conceive and adhere to. So he decided, Valmiki Maharshi is the only person who can give some protection to my Sita. Nobody else. Others will shudder. There were instances when children were abandoned by the parents and our Maharshis picked them up and brought them out. This is the greatness of India. This is India which all of you should be proud of, should relate yourself to. We are not the India that was born when the Constitution was written in 1950. There is no reference in our Constitution to India as a motherland. Nor is there a reference to India which has been living historically for a number of millennia with an indestructible proof for the purpose. Ramayana and Mahabharata deal with human characters, and the purpose of these writings is characteral elegance, behavioral majesty, and interactional excellence. To generate these, to instill these, to provide these, inspire people, enlighten people, persuade them from different points of view, have an elegant character, a majestic behavior, and also excellent interactions. If these three we are able to develop, incorporate in our life, I don't think we need anything else. Everything will follow. We can be prosperous to any extent. We can also be ethical and cohesive to any extent whatsoever. This is the India that I know. I am a person who spends my time always with our scriptural writings. They don't belong to anything like a 1000 or 2000 years back. They all relate to prehistoric times. Am I clear? Am I clear? When does history start? 400 or 500 BC? And what is the age of Mahabharata? 5154. And what is the age of Ramayana? We know that it was written in Treta Yuga. There is a background for Valmiki writing this Ramayana. Actually, I should tell you, but I have no time to go into it. Would you like to hear? Valmiki was a forest dacoit. And he continued to do his dacoity for a long time. Trying to force everybody to stop and take away the wealth, whatever they had. One day, 7 saints passed in his front. Oh, he thought, today I will have a big bounty. So he said, halt, halt. These Maharshis felt, who is there in this world to ask us to stop? Nobody will be able to do it, and God will not do. So they turned back with a lot of curiosity, gentleness, and a benedictory look. In that look, Ratnagara, the forest dacoit, completely got transformed. There was a conversation in which they told him, whatever you are doing, you only know about what you do and get the bounty that you have and you give to your family for their life. But the quality of your performance has something very great and impenetrable to offer. Actions are divided into good, benevolent, and kind. Then the opposite, bad, maleficent, and cruel. Yours belongs to the wrong category, and you will have a lot of sinfulness in the process. What are you going to do about it? I am not eating all the bounty that I get. I give it to my family to look after them. I have a wife and children. Will you go and ask the family whether they will share these spiritual consequences of what you do? He ran, asked his wife and the children. The wife said, no, nothing doing. You have married me and you are supposed to look after me. How you look after me, I don't know. If you are given to vicious ways, it is your concern. I never ask you to adopt vicious ways. So I will not participate in any kind of an evil consequences of what you do. The children also repeated the same thing. He was stunned. It was a lightning shock for him. He came back running. This is the answer I have got. Okay, what should you do then? I should stop my profession, cruelty, and I must atone, compensate for it. Please tell me what I have to do. Then they said he was an uneducated, illiterate, rustic person. So they said, sit and start saying Ram, 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 Ram. Ram, Ram, Ram. That's all. He went on saying, initially very loudly. Then the voice became feebler, feebler, feebler. The lips again started moving. And finally, it was a murmur in the mind. That also became silent, and he got absorbed into the depths of his own self. He didn't know where he was seated. What was the time? Nothing. He was not conscious of his body also. Then when he got up, he found the small plants around him had become huge trees. What is this? What has happened to me? He was covered by anthill. Anthill is called Valmiki in Sanskrit. Because he came out of the anthill, he was called Valmiki Maharshi. Valmiki, born out of Valmiki. He thought and reflected upon himself. I have left my wife, left my family, left my children. Because I happened to be in the forest, I had the grace of Maharshis. Grace of Maharshis. The people living in the plains, how can they have contact with the saints? It may not be possible. So as I got transformed, I would like all people to get transformed. What is the way to do it? I have to give something for them to cling to. What can I do? It should be something like a personal history. Because in humanity, personal history is the prevailing influence in mankind. What did I say? Personal history is the prevailing influence in humanity or mankind. So what shall I write about whom? Narada Maharshi went to his cottage one day, hermitage. He was very happy. He greeted the Maharshi and told him, my dear Narada Maharshi, you are given to free travel. You are the best reporter in the world. You will go anywhere unobstructed, and whatever you saw, you can also tell others. This is what you are traveling for. Throughout your ramblings, throughout your travel wanderings, I want to know, is there anybody living now? Mark my words. Is there anybody living now who is righteous, who is moral, who is ethical? At the same time, he should not be a weakling. He is courageous. He is bold. He is capable of withstanding any assault. At the same time, he should be kind, noble. Is there such a person? Then tell me. Don't say that somebody was, I have heard. Are you following me? I don't think. No. I am telling you the history of India. Narada had no doubt. Valmiki's words were, Konvasmin sampradam loge gunavan yascha viryavan. A number of qualities he mentioned. Narada said smilingly, yes, there is one. He is the first son of King Dasharatha of Ayodhya, Rama. He is still a boy. To the extent he has grown, and I have known his life, These are the details. The rest, my dear Maharshi, you find out yourself. This is the beginning of Ramayana. He says, I never speak untruth. He started writing Ramayana. And it was a biography for him. He started getting information, employed people to get more and more details about Sri Rama, and he came. Then he was sitting in his hermitage. Suddenly, a pregnant woman was found in front of the hermitage. The disciples spotted her and rushed to him to say, somebody is seated there. She does not appear to be an ordinary woman. She is very beautiful, glowing. She seems to have a good heredity, etc. He went there. My dear daughter, I have abandoned my wife and children, and I have been an ascetic. In spite of it, I will take the responsibility of your welfare. Please come. I am not going to blame either you or your husband. Come, I will arrange for your protection, looking after you by my household disciples, and you will be safe. From then on, the biographical sketch he began became autobiographical. Are you following me? Sojiye na. Sojiye. Is there any history written anywhere in mankind concurrently? I describe Ramayana and Mahabharata as concurrent history. The writers were living when the events were taking place. How many times shall I say this? Valmiki was recording the events about Sri Rama, the life of Prince Rama and King Rama. You will find only two descriptions, Rama as a prince and Rama as a king. And both of them, that is the king and the prince, the same person, he was living when Valmiki was living. So it was concurrent history that he was writing. What about Vyasadeva and Mahabharata? Vyasadeva was writing about his own lineage. Dhritarashtra and Pandu were his children. Arjuna was Pandu's child. Abhimanyu was Arjuna's child. Parikshit was his and Janamejaya was his. So Vyasadeva is writing autobiography right from the beginning. Don't you find it interesting and important? Huh? How can you dismiss this history? It is written there. When you have a book, it must have had an author. Without an author, there cannot be any writing. And that author says, this is the description. In all histories, you read what the author has written. And you base your judgment on the basis of the writing. Here also, Valmiki and Vedavyasa have written about instances that transpired, that took place, that happened, that occurred during their time. And they were participating in and witnessing everything. In Ramayana, we have a beautiful brotherhood described. 4 sons born out of 3 queens to Sri Rama lived together in an unbreakable bond of brotherhood. They excelled the mothers. This is the story of that distant past. When Kaikeyi snatched the kingdom for Bharata to sit on the throne, and Bharata was not a party to it, he was away. When he came back, he tells the mother, why did you take the kingdom for me to sit without asking me? If you wanted to sit, okay, I have nothing to say. But who are you to disregard me, an adult son, and you want me to sit on the throne? No, my dear mother. I have suckled from your breasts, but I have not suckled the voices in your heart. This is what I have done. I am ashamed to be the son of such a wicked mother. You are worse than a hissing cobra. See, this vituperation, something you have to read. Our epic authors use every kind of word and description for every instance of his kind. And they give reasons for whatever actions and events took place. Reason is provided. If Bharata has said this, there is a reason for it. If Rama did that, there is a reason for it. It was Sri Rama, when he was told by the stepmother, Kaigeyi, that you should leave the palace. You should live in the forest Dandakaranya for 14 years. And my son Bharata will sit on the throne. Rama said, only this much, my stepmother. This is India, my dear souls. We are not weaklings. We are not impostors. We are not hypocrites. Our body, the mind, the intelligence, the ego and the soul, all are creations, not of human mothers and fathers. Can any one of you tell me whether your body, mind or other things were shaped by your mother or father? Never. Who has shaped the trees? Who has shaped the oceans? Who has shaped the sky? The same source has shaped our body, our organs. What a wonderful magic is that. In the course of about 7 months, the fetus has already all the organs to perceive and interact with the infinitely various world. Our eyes can see infinite distances. Where are the stars and how do we see them? An eye specialist of Jamshedpur once told me, the far point of the eye is infinity. Infinity. So Kaigeyi failed in bringing about a separation between his son and the rest of them. He said, what is denied to my brother Rama is spurned by me. I will not sit on the throne. Certainly not. He went to Chitrakuda to invite him. So many people, including the palace and other people, officials, army men, etc., were impatiently looking for what is the type of conversation that will take place between Bharata and Rama. Let us see. And all of them were hearing. They were witness to. Okay, I am giving a signal that I should drink water.
Bhagavad Gita is not just a religious gospel, but an eternal literature. The memorial of a civilization is the literature it produces, both contemporary and lasting or eternal literature is there. As the basic structure of human mind, intelligence, emotions, etc., remains the same through the ages, values and disciplines relating to human mind and intelligence are required, which will also be unchanging. Our dharma is based around the unchanging I, which is the ever-present, unchanging factor from birth till death. That is why it is called Sanatana Dharma. Our dharma was evolved before the evolution of the English language and the word religion. Religion is defined as a system of morality based on the concept of God. Our dharma is not a religion. It is a way of life. Bhagavad Gita is considered a religious gospel, but Swamiji has been exposing it as an administrative treatise. Bhagavad Gita was delivered in the battlefield of Kurukshetra 5,154 years ago. It is a part of Mahabharata, one of the two great epics of our land, Ramayana and Mahabharata. Both these epics are biographies which became autobiographies due to the course of events. The Ramayana was written by sage Valmiki about the life of the Prince Rama. It was a biography which the sage recorded as Rama lived his life. The abandonment of Sita next to sage Valmiki's hermitage and the events that followed made it an autobiography. The author of Mahabharata was Vyasa Deva. Mahabharata was an autobiography right from the beginning. Vyasa Deva was writing about his own lineage.
See, this conversation between Bharata and Sri Rama took place in the depths of Chitrakuta mountain. Two people conversed between themselves. Valmiki put it in the form of a historic record. Therefore, it is living even today. What do you say about it? How to immortalize an event? How to perpetuate a culture? It's only through writings. There were so many princes before Sri Rama. We have two dynasties which ruled India. One is the Surya Vamsha, the solar dynasty. Rama belongs to that. Dasharatha, Aja. It started with Ikshvaku, a reference to whom is made by Krishna in his Bhagavad Gita dialogue. Are you following me? Are you interested in listening? Huh? It makes me very happy. That dialogue in the depths of forests, how is it that it became immortal? And it is still paving the culture, the character, and the behavior of our people. Rama said, "My dear Bharata, whatever you say, I like. By saying these words, you were always dear to me, you have become dearer. But mind you, our mothers alone are different, father is the same. It was the wish and promise of our father, not my father, our father, that I should honor his word. Father will not come here to change his word. So, Rama will not come back. You have to accept this. It is the command of a person who is not available now. It cannot be altered. So, don't insist upon it." And then Bharata sought for his paduka, the wooden slippers. He took them back, did not go to Ayodhya. He started ruling the kingdom from Nandigrama, keeping the footwear on the throne, and started ruling. He said, after 14 years, when the last day is over, if my dear brother, you happen to not come back here, then I will commit this body to flames. What am I saying? What am I saying? Am I saying something about fiction? Or these are factual events which took place in this great holy country? Answer me. Answer me. Chinese travelers came here and they have scribbled something. We accept it as history. A much more indelible description given by our own authors in this land. It is considered to be what? I don't know. The framers of our constitution did not do well. They did a grave mistake in not referring to India, linking it with the great hoary past. We are not a geographical piece of land with human bodies made out of flesh. We have the greater thing called the inner personality. There we have got a culture. We have got the undercurrent of a culture which we have perpetuated over countless millennia in this country. So Ramayana speaks about the beautiful brotherhood where the children excelled the mothers. Rama tells Kaikeyi that you should go only this much, he was saying. Before sunsets, I will have left this Ayodhya. First he went to his mother and said, she started crying, embracing, weeping and all that. Rama spoke to her for a few minutes. Suddenly the tears stopped and the mother admits that, I am very sorry, I was too attached to you. That is not right. You are the right son and you are doing the right way. Go with my blessings. I will be here to greet you back when you return. Let the 14 months pass, let the 14 years pass as 14 months, he said. Whenever I read this kind of a portion, it is a similar will, a similar resolve, a similar wish that is shaped in my heart. Our mind grows by what? By concepts, by values, by proper and noble emotions. Our intelligence grows by understanding, knowledge of a greater and greater dimension. The nutrition provided by the food is only for the biological body. What is the nutrition for the mind? Our epics are the right nutrition. Anybody who reads the epic will imbibe what Rama had, will listen to what Krishna has said. He will no more be a simple person, a poor person, a weakling, certainly not. But Ramayana presents only the beautiful brotherhood. But what happens when the brothers do not agree with each other? One set of brothers become cruel and the others become gentle and noble, and they happen to be brothers. Can you avoid a rift? Can you avoid distancing? A question arises. And what will come to our rescue? What should be our ideal? What should be the value? So Ramayana was not a full record for humanity to be employed in all circumstances of life. So Vyasa recorded another part. When even the brothers differ, stark differences are there. And one set of brothers are righteous, great and noble, and the others are unrighteous, very narrow-minded and cruel. What can be done? I don't want to quarrel, but when quarrel is thrust on me, what shall I do? This is a grave question. All of you should understand. So Mahabharata comes up with the other part of human life. When there are conflicts, when there are contradictions, when there are grave oppositions and affronts from several quarters, what are we to do? Are we to get destroyed? Is there any power or a process or a pursuit which will make us sustain our life? Sustain our life. What is that power of sustenance which the humans can resort to even in prosperity and adversity? When things are good and favorable, when they are the other way around, bad and unfavorable, what shall we do? Is there any source which I can depend upon equally in both? I don't want to lose in prosperity. I don't want to suffer and get lost in adversity. What is it that will give me stability? For all these questions, Mahabharata holds the answer. We have Surya Vamsha and Chandra Vamsha, I said. Rama and Ramayana is about Surya Vamsha. And the lunar dynasty, Hastinapura dynasty. What is the theme or the substance or the content of Mahabharata? It is the decline and fall of the Hastinapura dynasty. Even a huge dynasty which has been living for centuries, that dynasty will also crumble provided the living members, the living inheritors of the society fall in their mind. So the decline and fall of the Hastinapura dynasty is the substance of Mahabharata. In such a Mahabharata, altogether there are 18 parvas. In the Bheeshma Parva appears Bhagavad Gita. As a piece of history, I have explained to you how true, how reflective, how unalterable the descriptions are. It is written by an author who lived through the episodes and events as a participant and also as a witness. So you can imagine how powerful, how factual, how irrefutable is the narration. Duryodhana had altogether 100 siblings. That means 101. Out of them, 100 were brothers and one sister, though they were 100. And Pandavas were only 5. And the 5 Pandavas were given to righteousness, and the 100 Duryodhanas were given to unrighteousness. I sometimes wonder, everybody complains India is corrupt. Corrupt? Corrupt? I agree. Who is corrupt? The land is corrupt. The air is corrupt. It is the people individually corrupt. Where from did the corruption begin? You tell me. Who becomes a minister? A child that was born in a family as a son or a daughter? If the person is bred well, looked after well, and good influences are instilled into him, that boy or girl, do you think they will fall when they grow older? So our family is the first forum of education. We say X is corrupt. Our home is corrupt. Our family is corrupt. In many families, the women will say, oh, don't tell your father, don't tell your father. What is this corruption of the first order? Don't tell your father, my husband. So the child has learned corruption right from there. I give you something, don't tell your brothers. Ho gaya na, sarvanash ho gaya. Ho gaya. One mother was telling me, Swamiji, you are speaking so much about truth, truthfulness, etc. In this world, is it possible to live with truthfulness? Should there not be untruthfulness also? A mother of 3 sons was telling. तब तो क्या करेंगे हम? कुछ नहीं होगा यार. Suppose you take a plebiscite today, whether the country should survive with corruption or without. I am afraid the majority may opt for corruption. All the money will be spent to muster the votes. It is not corruption that question. The issue is not corruption. Issue is money. देख लीजिए ना क्या. So Duryodhana with 100 in his camp altogether, and Pandavas with only 5. They differed in their values, goals, in the level of tolerance and many other things. Pandavas held their position. Duryodhana held his quality and position also. I am cutting short the story. At one point of time, finding that Duryodhana had constructed a wax palace and invited Pandavas to be his hosts and live there. And when they were living there, he arranged to set fire to it, to burn them off. I think this kind of a cruel act even terrorists have not done. I don't think anybody has heard such a kind. This has happened. They thought Pandavas were completely burned. Later on, some developments took place, particularly Draupadi's marriage, where it was revealed that Pandavas alone have taken Draupadi. Coming to know, Dhritarashtra sent spies, etc., to verify where they are staying, how many are there. So they found 5 men, 1 woman, and a mother. So they confirmed themselves that it was Pandavas. Then Dhritarashtra said, let me divide the kingdom. He divided. And desert land was given to Yudhishthira. Indraprastha. That Indraprastha they got, but they strove very hard. And they became very prosperous. Maya built a sabhagriha for him. Yudhishthira, as usual, when one is prosperous and one is progressing in life, he will naturally invite the brothers, etc., to share in his prosperity. So he invited Duryodhana. Duryodhana came. Bah. Duryodhana saw everything around, and he goes back to tell his uncle, my dear uncle, I cannot tolerate, I cannot bear this prosperity. I am sleepless. I cannot sleep. We send them to a desert land, thinking that they will not prosper, they will crumble and get ruined. See what has happened. Then the uncle consoled him, saying that, my dear beta, don't worry about it. Yudhishthira has a fondness for dice play. You invite him. I will play on your behalf. I am an expert in deceitful game. I will rob everything that he has. And literally it happened. He staked everything. I am not going into it. It's a very important aspect of Pandava's life, Draupadi's life, etc. It's an episode worth listening to, worth studying also. Yudhishthira started staking everything he had. The kingdom first, the brothers one after the other next, finally himself. Then the opponent said, I have nothing else to lose or stake. Your wife is there, they said. So he staked Draupadi also. And they started assaulting her in the open assembly. Ultimately, Dhritarashtra called them and said, you are the best of my daughter-in-law. None of you is a slave. I release everybody. And they were going. When they were going, before they reached quarterway, Duryodhana invites them again for a dice game. Yudhishthira said, Providence is great. I don't like it at all. But nevertheless, I will accept. And he was told, my uncle will play for you. Where is this rule? Somebody else playing for you? Still I accept it. And next they decided that the stake will not be any object article. It will be, you will be sent, you will take 12 years of forest exile and 1 year of incognito life. He was defeated and all of them went there. The whole period was successfully gone through, and finally Yudhishthira asked for their kingdom. When he asked for the kingdom, Duryodhana says, no, I will not give. Fight and gain. What is this kind of cruelty? Have you ever heard? Fight and gain. There was no other opportunity. Yudhishthira was compelled to think about warfare. He wanted to avoid bloodshed. What could be done? Finally he said, Krishna, you yourself should go as an ambassador from me. And you should present the propositions before them. And you are free to say whatever you want. Krishna went there. Krishna is equally related to both. So Duryodhana also had made arrangements to receive. Krishna had to oblige. And then Duryodhana asked him to have his dinner in his house. Krishna said, I will not. When he was asked for an explanation as to why you are refusing, he says, Sampriti bhojyanannani abad bhojyani va punaha nacha sampriyase rajan nacha vabad gatavayam. These are the ethics and morality that Mahabharata teaches in every page. Whenever somebody says something, what is the reason behind? Reason. It is absolutely rational and scientific at every point of time. Sampriti bhojyanannani abad bhojyani va punaha. One takes his food. When somebody invites and he says, please come and take food in my house, I shall be very, very happy and blessed. This is one condition. Another condition is, abad gatavayam. We are in a danger. We are walking alone. We have become very hungry. We cannot go further. There is no food. So wherever it is available, you can ask for and have your food. Either the person is in danger, he is in distress, or it should be the hearty pleasure of the host. In your case, naja sampriyase rajan, najaiva padgatavayam. You are not really pleased to feed me, and I am not in danger also. So he went away to Vidura and had his dinner with him. I am only giving you one instance where Mahabharata provides ethics. For everything, the reason behind is clearly mentioned. And then, after the talk, Krishna presented the message of the Pandavas. He spoke himself, and finally he said, I want you to give only 5 villages. 5 villages for the 5 Pandavas to live. He said, not even a needle point of space I shall give. Not a needle point of space shall I give. Let them fight and take. Nothing could be done. Before coming, Krishna said, okay, then war is decided. And he also fixed the date and the season for the warfare, and then returned. Both decided to muster armies and support, not merely from our Bharata, but also from a larger region called Jambudvipa. I think it includes China and other places also. Even from Kerala, army had come in the Mahabharata war to fight. Both of them mustered support, and finally they entered Kurukshetra and started fighting. Now I will stop the narration and take up another part. When the war became a reality, a sure prospect, Vyasadeva rushed to the palace of Hastinapura and then asked Dhritarashtra, this is an unprecedented war. Unprecedented war. The world has not seen a war like this. Brothers fighting between themselves. So if you want to see it, specially you are blind, I will give you a divine vision. Vyasadevji, mujhe nahi chahiye. I don't want. All my sons are going to fall one after the other like jackfruit from the tree. Which father will be able to witness this scene? So I don't want to see. Then what else shall I do? I shall gift Sanjaya, your trusted counselor, with a divine power. He can move about anywhere in the battlefield and the army camps, unseen and unhurt. He will come and narrate to you whatever has happened. Vedavyasa went, and Sanjaya, a very good narrator, started narrating. He began with the greatness of our Madhubhumi. How great and holy is the land of Bharat? What are the great mountains? Which are the rivers? Which are the holy spots? What are the pilgrim centers, etc.? All of them he was describing. Suddenly in Kurukshetra the war started. So he rushed there. And he got involved in the events of the war. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days passed. Are you with me? On the 10th day, hit by Arjuna's arrows, the great invincible Bhishma fell from the chariot. This Sanjaya could not bear. The invincible Bhishma, at the same time Prajna, he was a knower of truth, a lifelong celibate, everything good, great and austere about him. Such a person has been de-seated from the chariot. Bah! What is this? He rushed to the blind king and said, Sanjayoham Maharaja Namaste Bharadarshabha. I am Sanjaya, my dear king, he had to announce because the king cannot see. I have come, I prostrate before you. And he said, Hato Bhishma, Bhishma has fallen. What? Bhishma has fallen? The whole of my army is fallen then? Can anybody deceive this great holy person? Apart from his invincibility in warfare, he has the spiritual magnificence to protect him. How is it possible? And he started expressing a number of crisscross sentiments about him. He also said, Dharma da dharmo belavan samprapa iti me matihi. Dharma da dharmo belavan samprapa iti me matihi. I feel adharma has become more powerful and dharma has become weak. Otherwise this even can never happen. What is behind all this? My children are wicked, I understand, but Pandavas are noble. Did not the Pandavas, the noble Pandavas, think about this kind of a consequence? Did they not have any resistance, any reluctance in the matter? How did they overcome it? I cannot say Pandavas just took up their cudgels and started fighting. No, it is not so. After all, it is Dharmakshetra, where our own ancestor Kuru had performed prolonged austerity there. That place is a dharmic place. That is where this fight is done. So what has taken place or what is taking place there cannot be just an adharmic war. There should be something dharmic about it. So the fall of Bhishma, is it also dharmic? If so, how? I would like to know. Then suddenly he intercepts Sanjaya and raises the question. Dharmakshetre kurukshetre samaveda yuyutsavaha mamakaha pandavaschaiva kimakurvata Sanjaya. I started a little late. Who will say? Dharma, all of you should recite. Dharmakshetre kurukshetre
Dharmakshetre kurukshetre
samaveta yuyutsavaha
samaveta yuyutsavaha
mamakaha pandavaschaiva
mamakaha pandavaschaiva
kimakurvata Sanjaya.
kimakurvata Sanjaya.
Mind you, this took place on the 10th day of the war. And he is putting a question. Bhagavad Gita consists of 700 verses. And the first verse are the words of Dhritarashtra. He no more speaks in the Bhagavad Gita. 699 verses are different. This is the only one. And the entire Bhagavad Gita dialogue is an answer to this question. What is this question? In Kurukshetra, which also carries the dharmic influences generated by our ancestor through his prolonged austerity, my sons and Pandavas having assembled there with a view to, with a resolve to fight, what did they do? What is the question? What did they do? Many people translate it saying that, did Yudhishthira after coming to the dharmic field feel like not fighting? It's not like that. War has already begun. And this is on the 10th day. So he wanted to know, before the commencement of the war, was there any kind of an exchange or a dialogue about propriety and impropriety, about what has taken place now? Pandavas would not have become all ready in a moment. Would not have Arjuna thought about having to hit Bhishma? Could he ever do it? So I would like to know what happened in the battlefield of Kurukshetra before the commencement of the war, in the way of any dharmic doubt, a dharmic apprehension and the like. Is there anybody who could raise it and who could answer it? Krishna is there as a charioteer and Arjuna was the one who hit Bhishma. So there could possibly have taken place a dialogue between Arjuna and Krishna. I would like to know all the details about it. This is the first enquiry. And the entire Bhagavad Gita is in answer to this. You tell me whether Bhagavad Gita is a religious gospel or an administrative treatise. Are religious discussions held in the midst of war? Before Bhagavad Gita, it was war developments, which I am going to narrate tomorrow. I will discuss Bhagavad Gita. After the Bhagavad Gita also, what took place was a war event. Yudhishthira suddenly left his weapons and he started going forward. Arjuna became apprehensive. My trouble and confusion are gone. Now what is my brother doing? He will go and surrender before the opposite camp. So he started pulling his hand. Krishna said, keep quiet. He is not like you. He must be going there to take the blessings of his elders. Without taking their blessings, nobody can fight with elders. Exactly he went there, prostrated before Bhishma and said, please give me permission to fight. You are standing on Duryodhana's side. We have to fight the Duryodhana side. That means we have to fight you also. Therefore, give me your consent to fight. Bhishma said, I am very happy. If you had not come, I would have cursed you. Now that you have come, I am very happy. Pridoham putra yudhyasva jayamapnuhi pandava. I am immensely pleased, my dear son. Fight and win. This is India. This is India. In our recent surgical strike, what happened? We did it. And our Director General of Army, he calls up his equal there and say, we have performed this, we have done this. We have no intention of attacking any land or possessing another's territory. No intention of war. We have just done this much and we don't propose to do anything else. Have you ever heard of a conversation like this in the present world? They had to understand that we had administered the strike from our people. Our Prime Minister also said that we have no intention of war at all. Our tradition is very great. There was hijacking. A number of passengers were seated in the aircraft. That was the time of hijacking. We had not developed sufficient techniques and safeguards against it. Finally, what happened? Our country released a terrorist with a view to save the lives of the people. At the same time, in another country in the world, they shot everybody, waited for nothing. So if India is a little patient, if India is a little considerate, you should not be surprised. We belong to this kind of a quality and inheritance. Tomorrow, I shall discuss Bhagavad Gita right from the beginning. Bhagavad Gita right from the beginning. Bhagavad Gita discusses the human mind, particularly the grief generated by the mind, how to deal with it. It discusses the human personality. What are the constituents of the inner personality of the human? What is this world like? How can the individual interact with the world outside? Interact with persons, places, and also events. What is the way? Throughout Bhagavad Gita, in 8 places Krishna says, therefore Arjuna, you fight. And Gita ends with the statement, Arjuna saying, I shall fight as you want me to. Tell me, what is this Gita now? Huh? But when we discuss, even in the midst of war, there will be spiritual and philosophical messages there. That is our greatness. For us, nothing is besides or beyond dharma. I shall stop now and continue the theme from tomorrow. I thought that you should know sufficiently about Gita. Gita, many people may know. I also know. I will also tell you more. But what is this Gita? What about Gita? How did it occur? Where did it occur? What is the relevance? Between whom? And what is the subject of discussion? I shall conclude the session. സംവേദ്യവർജിതമനുത്തമമേകമാദ്യം സംവിത്പദം വികലനം കലയൻ മഹാത്മൻ ഹൃദ്യേവ തിഷ്ഠ കലനാരഹിതക്രിയാം തു കുർവൻ അകർത്തൃപദമേത്യ ശമോദിതശ്രീ കുർവൻ അകർത്തൃപദമേത്യ ശമോദിതശ്രീ. We shall have the concluding Omkara recitation in chorus. Take your pose for it. Hari Om Tat Sat. Jai Guru.